Hey, it's back again with another shield hero. Don't you just love me? Don't you just love my shield hero reviews? Don't worry, it's not like it's the only videos that are actually getting views on my channel or anything. It's not the reason I'm doing them. No, not at all. It's not like I put hard work into other videos and they don't get any credit because it doesn't have the shield hero tags on them. It's no hard feelings. Anyways, though. This episode of Shield Hero was it was a nice change of pace because first 4 episodes were pretty much a big downer. Like, this first episode's kind of sucked. Like, not like sucked as in their quality was bad, but sucked as in like I wanted to freaking blow every single one of the other characters' brains out because they were assholes and asshats. And this episode was a nice change of pace. Well, the beginning of it, when we're in the courtroom or whatever. Spoilers, by the way. I don't even think I need to say it at this point. Like, this is me just talking about the episode. When we're in the courtroom, we can see Mr. King still being an asshole, and Mine is still as much of a bitch as always. And so is the Matoya Dono or whatever. Like, he's like the biggest freaking a-hole out of any of them, really, because he thinks himself like so far above everyone else. It's kind of funny, honestly. It's because I know that they're setting him up, that the writing of this is definitely being set up to where at one point he's gonna like confront the shield hero and be like, oh, I'm gonna beat you, and he is so confident, and they just gets absolutely obliterated, and his self-confidence like goes through the fucking floor, and then the shield hero's like, you know, man, like, I know you're an asshole, but like, you don't, like, it's okay, everyone can be an asshole, and then like brings him up. Anyways, that's just what I think is gonna happen. But beside the point, first couple of minutes of this episode were the typical shield hero being shit on by absolutely everyone except the other two, the bow and the sword. I think it's, yeah, the bow and the sword hero are actually the ones standing up for him now, which is actually a nice change of pace, because up until this point, you know, everyone's been doubting him, whatever, thinking he's scum, but then they're finally starting to see that what he's doing and the things he's done, and they're starting to kind of warm up to him. Not like, they don't think he's like their buddy or whatever, but like they understand that they thought something of him that wasn't true. But after that initial scene, before we move on from this, Raphthalia being like, stepping in there and being like, we don't need to be here anymore. That was my favorite part of almost the entire episode, because Raphthalia is just growing up to be so sassy, and I love that she is the sassy little raccoon freaking demi-human. It's just hilarious. I think she's a great counterpart to Naofumi and the shield hero part in general. But after that, you know, we get to him being in the loot village or whatever. He talks to the slave owner, gets his egg. Obviously, this is the introduction of the newest character, the one that we see in the opening, the bird thing. I think it's called a Phololia or whatever. But yeah, we see him buy an egg, and we know that egg is going to grow up into being a Phololia. And then it just kind of time skips for 2 days, which is not really like a huge time skip. It just kind of shows that they were like, you know, grinding monsters, like waiting around, eating and feeding this freaking bird that ends up turning into, you know, whatever, a freaking Phololia or whatever. And then the main kind of conflict of this episode occurs when Mine and his spear hero are up to no good again, and are freaking, the king is a freaking bitch and just like was like, hey, here, his land to this freaking spear hero or whatever, and then he's gonna tax him like 50 silvers. And it's like, it really shows how inept the spear hero is about the workings of this world, because he's basically being toted around by Mine, which we actually hear in this episode that her real name is Malty, which some of you guys pointed out in the comments in previous videos. And by the way, I love when you guys comment on this stuff, and when you like bring up stuff, and when you start talking about things and telling me things I don't know, because it's honestly, it's really cool just to see your comments and see what you guys think, and it's really nice to interact with you guys. So definitely comment down below if you have anything you want to share, or if anything that you think that I didn't bring up and you kind of want to bring up to the forefront or whatever. But anyways, let's continue. So after that, you know, they challenge him to a race or whatever, and obviously mine is gonna cheat, because she always does, because for some odd reason she has this vendetta against the shield hero, you know, because he likes demi-humans or whatever another, you know, she just hates the shield hero, and everyone just hates the shield hero, you know, it's all about the shield or whatever. And so she cheats, you know, it's really nothing more to add to the story. It's just another kind of the finishing, wrapping up of she is an asshole and everyone's an asshole, and they just want to cheat the shield hero out of basically everything. And even though he gets cheated on and cheated against, he still pulls through. It's kind of that, you know, anime protagonist, even in the face of darkness I will prevail kind of thing. But it's not really played up too much. Like, this episode is definitely more of a breather episode from heavier topics. It's definitely not supposed to be anything too big, like, going into this episode, so nothing really major. And then the episode basically wraps up with Naofumi getting a card and becoming a traveling merchant. Like, this kind of took me out of left field, because I don't know if there's anything missing from the source material that, like, they kind of skipped over to hint at this, and they kind of showed it in a flashback that some guy asked him to be a traveling merchant, or asked him if he wanted to be a traveling merchant. And I'm not too sure why this happened. I kind of I think it felt a little bit forced, honestly. I felt like the whole traveling merchant bit was a little bit forced onto Naofumi. He was obviously accepting of it, but it didn't feel very genuine, which I guess, you know, obviously there's going to be some faults in the writing, so I can forgive a little bit, but it would have felt nice to maybe drop a little bit more hints or something. I guess it's good they kind of added that when they talked about it's good for grinding monsters, traveling. They can make some money that way. Obviously, because he's not getting money from the king, because the king fucking hates him. So, and I can kind of see that. And so, you know, it becomes a merchant, and then obviously at the end of this episode, we see the new character, which is the little girl that can apparently shapeshift in between bird form and girl form, which, you know, I mean, it is an isekai, it is an anime, guys. We have Raphthalia, and she used to be a Loli, but she's not anymore. She's growing up, so we have to have our main protagonist have a Loli, okay? He's got to have a Loli main interest. So, that about wraps up the episode. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to talk about. No, I think that's it. Yeah, so this episode was a nice change of pace. It was very light. It wasn't very heavy. Had some light topics. It was funny. I found it hilarious. So, if you like this video, make sure to leave a like. If you dislike this video, you can dislike it. Comment down below what kind of content you want to see next, or if there's another anime that maybe I'm not talking about, which, let's be honest, I'm only talking about Shield Hero right now because that's my main source of views. But if you want me to talk about a different anime, then definitely hit me up. I am watching other anime. This is just the one that I'm most looking forward to each week, besides Reincarnated as a Slime, which that started airing last season, so I'm not really talking about it. But anyways, guys, hope you had a good day, and I hope you have a good rest of the week, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.